Welcome to CBD Answers, where we talk all things CBD. Today we wanted to talk about some of the stigmas that still plague CBD, specifically the three main ones that we keep getting asked about, and wanted to get into a little bit more detail as to whether or not they are true. And it's always, as always, it's brought to you by the CBDhaven.com, your one-stop shop for all your CBD product needs. So, CBD. Recently, it is all over the news, and for various uses. It's in every coffee shop, gym, you name it. If you got anxiety, there's some CBD oil that'll fix that. If you've got pain, rub some CBD on it. Can't sleep, take a gummy. And actually, recently, more and more CBD companies are coming out with gummies with CBD and melatonin to help with sleep. So. A quick review. There's three main types of CBDs out there right now, and that are on the market. It's full spectrum CBD, broad spectrum CBD, CBD Isolate. Main differences: full spectrum CBD is the only one of the three that can contain trace amounts of THC up to 0.3%. Broad spectrum is everything that's in a full spectrum, all the additional cannabinoids as well as the terpenes and the flavonoids, but the THC is completely removed. And then finally, CBD Isolate. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's just pure CBD. So let's get into some of these myths. Myth number one is that CBD is weed slash marijuana. Well, it's a yes or no. Yes and no. Sorry. CBD actually does come from the cannabis plant, and the cannabis plant has two main varieties, which is the marijuana and the hemp plant. If you get the CBD that's extracted from a marijuana plant, the THC content will be a lot higher than the CBD content, and technically at that point that CBD would be considered marijuana CBD. Now, the one that's readily available and sold everywhere, including online, is the hemp extracted CBD. That's the one that we're discussing today, and that is the one that cannot be considered as weed or marijuana. The major distinction between, again, marijuana and hemp plants are THC content. They both do come from the cannabis plant, and most people think weed. It's not necessarily the case. Again, the CBD that's available everywhere now comes from the hemp plant, with 0.3% THC content or less. So let's get on to myth number two. CBD will get me high. We get that a lot. Not even if you were a Smurf. You look at the full spectrum CBD, which is the only one of the three that contains any sort of amounts of THC, and it's 0.3% THC content. That absolutely will not get you high whatsoever. Broad spectrum and CBD Isolate contain 0.0% THC, so they're both non-psychoactive. Technically, so is full spectrum, because the content is 0.3% or less. Finally, can I overdose on CBD? Just to give you guys a rough idea, the only drug out there that's the CBD drug that's approved by the FDA for medical treatment is Epidiolex, and it contains 100 milligrams of CBD per 1 milliliter. Typical doses of that are 1 to 5 milliliters, so that's up to 500 milliliters of CBD at one time. And it is generally well tolerated by the human body. There's really not a lot of side effects. Obviously, it's FDA approved, and it's 500 milliliters dosage. You will, unless you down half a bottle of CBD, you will not get close to that dosage. But to get a little more scientific on it, there was a study that was reviewed in marijuanabreak.com, and according to that, it would take 18,750 milligrams for a human who weighs 165 pounds to reach any sort of dangerous levels where it might get a little bit rough. To give you guys an idea, that amount of CBD is 12.5 or 12 and a half 30 milliliter bottles of 1,500 milligram CBD at one time. Not during the entire day, at one time. Roughly the average right now is about 50 to 100 milligrams of CBD for the average user daily. And just so that you guys all know, thus far, there's been 0 deaths attributed to the overconsumption of any form of cannabis that includes marijuana or hemp. So no, you cannot overdose on CBD, but you can get bed CBD. The bed CBD is full of chemicals. It's not really good for you, and it's not true CBD. So where do you buy proper quality CBD? Well, at the CBDhaven.com. If you scroll down below and click on our link, it'll take you to the store where you can browse a curated selection of trusted brands, large variety of CBD products, and all 3 major varieties of CBD on the market right now. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay tuned for the next episode coming real soon.